Good evening, everybody. So we're giving this a new shot tonight. I am recording this video. I'm going to upload it onto our YouTube channel, and I'm going to share that link within the group. So if you're here watching me, that's all worked. The reason why I'm doing this is because not everybody has Facebook, and I want these videos to be able to be accessed by all members that are participating in the challenge, not just us avid Facebookers. So that being said, week one, we talked a lot about consistency, specifically in tracking. And we're seeing some of the fruits of the labor on that, as far as everybody's noticing, hey, I'm not eating enough, or these are the times that I'm eating too much, or I wasn't eating enough of this food group, but I was way over in this food group. I also hear a lot of you talking about what challenges you're encountering, and you're starting to get a clearer picture on the areas that you have really solid and the areas that we need to grow in. So week two, the theme is going to be setting up your environment for success. So when we think of willpower, a lot of times we think of just sheer force of strength of will overcoming what you're doing. But really, those that we look at and we think, man, their willpower is really strong, they honestly have just continued to refine the craft of setting their environment up for success. I'm sure many of you have heard the concept of decision fatigue, or the idea that we have to make thousands and thousands of decisions all day long. So the less we have to make active decisions and the more we prepare so that things can become streamlined, the easier it becomes. Hence why people that food prep tend to have a lot more success with nutrition, because they are taking action preemptively instead of reacting when they're under fire, which just sets us up to fail right from the beginning. So we're going to start looking at how do we do that. Throughout the course of the week, I'm going to be doing 3 different videos. And the reason why is when I try to do them all at once, it's too much information, and we don't get the chance to implement and practice a lot of these things before we layer in the next step. So being that tonight is Sunday night, we are going to talk about preparing for the week. Specifically, setting I want you to think about what time of day you are weakest and setting that environment up for success. For instance, a lot of us are okay during the day when we're busy, bouncing from one thing to the next to the next. It's typically when we get home and we realize that we're really, really hungry that we start to fall into the trap of, even if you are cooking dinner, like a handful of pretzels here while you're doing this, and then a couple of raisins that were left over from your kiddos' lunches, and one piece of chocolate out of the cupboard as you're grabbing the olives that you need for the salad. And before you know it, you've ingested 400 calories of junk food before you're even sitting down to eat your dinner because you're literally ravenous. How do we combat that? You have 2 choices. Number 1 is try to prep your food ahead of time so that literally it's a 2-minute action to get in the door, warm it up, and sit down and start eating. For some of you, that is going to be the problem solver. For some of you, it's not. My suggestion is then to have out on the counter a snack ready to go that's not going to ruin your dinner like Mom always told us when we were kids, but that also aligns with your nutritional needs. It could be a little bit of raw almonds and some apple slices. It could be some turkey jerky. It could be some tuna if you like it, a hard-boiled egg. So we're not looking at the typical macro profile of a large snack or a large meal that's going to carry us a long time. We're just looking for something small that can really just dull the ache until our dinner is set and ready to go. I know that's a common time of day that's tough for a lot of people, so that's why I'm starting there. Maybe it's breakfast in the morning. If your mornings are super crazy and you're not a big breakfast eater, the night before you go to bed, get out what you are nutritionally intending on eating in the morning, and any steps you can take prior ahead of time to eliminate decisions and time in the morning is huge. So for instance, if I'm doing a mug cake, maybe I get out the box of Kodiak mix, the mug, the scale, like whatever I need, and leave it on the counter. I am famous for protein in my coffee with a little bit of Laird and a banana, and all of that is literally, I'll bring you over here. Oh, it's all buried behind my food prep. Hold on. My coffee corner is back here. You can't even see it all right now. Sorry, all of my food prep for this week is in the way. I thought it was going to be useful. That was a fail. But Having stuff set and ready to go in a location where, as I'm in the middle of making sure the kids are dressed and lunches are packed and papers are signed and backpacks are by the door and literally the 10,000 decisions that I have to make in the morning, my breakfast does not have to be one of them. And then I also highly recommend the night before tracking what you're intending on eating, so that you can see where are you short, where are you in excess, etc. throughout the day. Now, that's going to be a work in progress. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take some time to get to the point where you really have that dialed in. But I want you to specifically look at your food logs and figure out what time of day am I falling down the most on, and what are some ways that I can set my environment up with some tools to help me overcome that hurdle. If you're sitting there going, oh, that sounds so hard, I don't even know, I want you to reach out to your accountability buddy first. Tell them, okay, this is what I'm really, really struggling with. Do you have any ideas for me? And then post in the group if you're continuing to have issues and you don't feel like you have a feasible solution. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. It's not just magically going to happen. You are not going to go to bed and wake up and the food fairy has come in and done your food prep and made all your decisions and you have no thinking to do. Your nutrition is going to be a battle. Rick is laughing while he's sitting here eating his dinner listening to me say this. It's going to be work. It's going to be a struggle. But most of us are here because we have a big why, whether it's we're overcoming a health issue, whether we really want to change in our lifestyle, whether we're trying to push our limits and achieve something different with our body that we've never been able to do in the past. Your why, yet again, is what's going to fuel you during the course of this work. So, assignment number 1 is, what is your biggest struggle? And what are some ways you can change the setup in your environment to make it so you have less decisions to make to have success with this struggle? Please feel free to share in the comments below what your struggles are and how you are overcoming them. There's strength in numbers, so the more we share our ideas, the more we're likely to find something that does work for us. But remember, this isn't just about one day you developed self-discipline and you never had to think about it again. This is going to be an ongoing process. Now, throughout this week, tomorrow I'm going to go over grocery shopping. What are some tips when you are in the grocery store that are going to help you really set yourself up for success for the week? Wednesday, we're going to talk about how to avoid workday snags. I know the work environment can be one temptation after another. So how can you set yourself up there for success? And then Friday, we're going to talk about weekend prep. Everybody's big on Sunday prep, getting our food in for the week, making good choices. And then we hit Friday night and all hell breaks loose between Friday night and Sunday morning. So we're going to start talking about how to stop having weekends be that thing that keep us from moving forward. So tomorrow, grocery shopping. Wednesday, workday prep. Friday, weekend prep, which is going to involve how to handle social get-togethers, dining out, etc. I'm looking forward to a big week of growth, and comment below on what your biggest struggle is and how you plan to overcome it this week. Do not forget to set up your appointment with your accountability buddy. Make sure you are looking at each other's food logs. No hiding. There's no shame in whatever is or is not in your food log. But if you're not willing to show up, be real, and look at each other's food logs, you're not going to make that progress moving forward. So make that appointment with your buddy. If you're having trouble getting in touch with your buddy, let me know and I'll connect the two of you. And cheers to another week of progress. Have a good night, you guys.